today's DIY is we're going to do a gnome. Can you believe it? We're finally going to do a gnome. You guys, I actually bought a lot of this stuff like 3 years ago, and I am just now going to make a gnome. I made some for Christmas, but I haven't made any for my YouTube channel. So let me get right to it on the supplies. I bought these little baby booties at Dollar Tree with the Dalmatians on it. I got an idea on that. You know, guys, how I do things. Got some string, rice. These are little elastic bands. These are great for doing these gnomes. Of course, I have some buffalo check of the baby blanket from Dollar Tree. These fake furs, I had gotten these at Hobby Lobby. You can get about any color, and they come on this card, and they're doubled, so you get a lot. And you can see the price. They call it the craft fur, $2.99 for the ones that look like the beard. I have this is like my gnome supply, and it has polyfill in it. I got that from a pillow from Dollar Tree, which is this blue fur, and I actually made a gnome with it. The micro washcloths, I had actually sewn those because, like I said, I made these at Christmas. So let me clear some of this off and let's get started. Okay, guys, now I am going to be using rice. This is long grain white rice. You can use beans, you can use rocks, you can use pebbles, and I also did get some pebbles. Now, these come from the Dollar Tree as well. So, let me iterate. You can use this as a weight in the bottom and then use polyfill in the top. And the one that I am making is actually going to have feet underneath it. You can even do legs, you can do arms, all kinds of things. And so I'm actually going to try out some of these rocks along with some polyfill. And I just have a bucket here. You can use a vase or a cup or anything. And that basically just holds it, and it's just serving as another set of hands for you. And so basically you're putting that in there as some weight in the bottom. And you, like I said, you can use rice, you can use about anything. You can use those little marbles, you can use the fish pebbles, you can use sand, about anything. And I am in North Carolina, so it's very humid here, and so a lot of people fear using rice or beans or things like that but I haven't had a bug problem with any of the ones that I've made, honest to goodness. So the rice is not a problem for me. I don't mind using the rice. And I'm not using a whole lot of these pebbles, and if I get this too heavy, then of course I can just judge that. But what that will do is they'll give it more of a platform, so it'll sit a little flatter. And you can really pack these things with some serious amount of rice. And I do have some rice, and that will take up some of the space as well. So if you want to do some rice on top of that, you can. And the thing is, it gives it form so that you're able to, you know, give your bag, your little gnome some form. And I have a cousin, and she makes fun of me because I had told her that I used to like the gnomes that you see in the yard. These things scare the bejesus out of me. They look really creepy. But now that gnomes have gotten really, really popular, they're looking really adorable and cute, and I can totally handle that. I just cannot handle something that just looks like the leprechaun. Do you guys remember the leprechaun movie? Well, that's what it was scaring me, because they made the leprechaun look a lot like the gnome, and that thing was just frightening to me. I was just very intimidated and just found it very frightening. Chubby or as fat and round as you like. It's totally up to you. And so this will give it a little more form and, you know, sit better, so to speak. And basically, I'm going to be fixing these shoes, these booties, and I'll be showing that to you too. So I've got my bag like I want it, and at the amount that I want it at. And so basically you just, you know, you guys probably seen 100 of these made. Now I am going to use an elastic to tie this closed. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to use some using polyfill. And I'm doing that for the weight distribution because I'm putting some little shoes under him. I'm going to be using one of the golf balls from the Dollar Tree pack. and I'm going to be placing that there. Now, I'm probably going to, you can either paint this or you can put some felt around it. I am a little bit curious because I am planning on using the buffalo check for this particular gnome, and I'm just curious to see how well this little shiny nose might look if I double up this tulle on it. So let me ponder on that and we'll see what we come up with. Okay guys, so I did take the tulle, and there's about 3 layers of tulle per se, and I just wrapped it around my nose. Now the reason why I'm doing this is this is in fact a golf ball, so it has those little dimples on it, and I didn't want my gnome to look like a dimpled nose old man or something like that, like, he's got all these dimples. I wanted it to look more smoother, and the tulle, even though it's got this pinkness to it, it's going to give that effect to where it doesn't show those dimples. Now, that's just me using things that I use. Now, since I've got that band on there, it's not going to come loose. And if you did fear that it would, you can definitely use some string and tie it tight. I'm not worried about this. I just need that grasped together so that when I glue it here, it will, stay for the time being, and the tulle will stay wrapped around it. Once everything's in place, nothing's going anywhere, guys. Nothing is going anywhere. But remember, I told you, I just do not trust those elastic bands. Over a period of time, I want this gnome to be here. And so what I'm going to do is, in addition to the elastic band, I'm going to tie, you just go ahead and you cut that. A lot of people will actually glue the tops down, and you can do that too. So whichever works best for you. And we may actually take this and stuff it inside of the hat. Nothing goes to waste with Elizabeth, you know me. Okay, so now I've got his body made. I'm going to go ahead and glue his nose on. Okay, now while my gnome, I'm going to set my gnome out of the way for a second. Now on these booties, these are attached to this little board. So I'm going to pop those loose, be right back. Now what I have in mind is these baby booties. The reason why I bought them is they have this little plastic frame, so to speak. And I'm going to take the booties off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace these out. I'm going to fill these with a little bit of rice, and then that way it will keep my shoes weighted down so it doesn't, my gnome doesn't topple over because of just this plastic feel. So I'm actually going to trace them onto this cardboard that they came on, into this. Like I said, just for some weight. I'm going to take some of this Microsoft cloth and lay that in there. Now just kind of keep them from making a rattling noise. Not that I think it's going to be a problem. I don't think it will. So I will also do my glue insurance, of course. To that, so that it's not, my rice isn't coming out, but it also keeps my gnome with a little balance to him. Boots built. Now this is necessary. This is just how I do it. This is how I elect to come up with some boots that I can afford. And the Dalmatian little gray boots were just, they were perfect for this project. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put the baby booty back on to it, guys. It's so cute. These are so cute. I mean, I know, but I don't have any babies right now to give the booty to. All the babies I know is beyond the booty stage. They wearing shoes. They're not wearing no booties. They done got big. But gosh, these are so cute with the Dalmatians. I just love them. I really thought these were the cutest little baby booties. Okay, guys, I got my booties made. Here's another thing I'm going to do is glue them side by side. That will make it more stable. And then that way they should, that way they'll always remain together and not separated. Because a lot of times when you buy these little boots, they come in a set and they are attached together. So just a FYI, and we're going to glue those together and set them out of our way. Oh, I meant to glue them here. To make sure the little socks don't come off, I'm going to put some glue down and around. Now we have our booties together, okay? So this is your little boots. They're not going anywhere. And I have glued the inner top of the sock onto them. So even if the bottom came undone, they're not coming out those little socks. So we got that part done. Okay, so now let's get back to our gnome. Now remember I told you I had this buffalo check fabric that I am wanting to show off of my gnome. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my gnome because I want this buffalo check to be seen. I want to show you guys a trick whenever you buy craft fur and to keep it from shedding all over the place. The best way is to turn your fur face down, okay? And then with some really good scissors, you're going to cut in the back. This piece back here, it is designed to hold, the fur, the backing, and then the fur is going to drop down, okay? So the proper way to cut fur, craft fur, is to flip it over and cut the fur down the back. I have seen people just go right through there and cut, and what that does is that's going to disturb your drape of your fur above that. And if you're wanting to maintain this fur, see, so it drapes down, see how neat that is? That's the proper way to cut craft fur. Now, and then that way you have your fur on both sides and down at the bottom. And so it doesn't disturb that. So at this point, we've got our fur cut out of the way, and see, we don't have any of this shed falling off. You don't have all that fur shedding, and you don't want to mess up your fur. Okay, so we want his beard to come down, and we want to kind of bring it around to the sides. See, you want it to come about. So I'm going to cut just a little 1/4-inch circle. And that way it will snug up. I want that to go all the way up under his nose. As you can see, when we put him on his little boots, once we shape his beard and then we put the things on his little boots, he's going to look quite cool. Now, to make the size of the hat to fit him the way we want it to, just basically roll him in it, and that will tell you where you need to cut. The easiest way I know to teach you to do his hat. Okay. Now, most of them are making it into a cone, and you have that option. You can do that. You doubled his height, and then this is his height. And if you want to, you can make it a little bit longer. But as you can see, his is just a little bit longer than his body. And that is simply okay because it's just going on his head. All right. So it needs to be at least the height of his body. All right. Now you're going to take your rectangle. And this has a finished side on it. So I'm just going to glue it to it's not just perfect. Don't overthink it. Just get your hat made, because you can make adjustments. And cut it down, or you can glue it. You know, you can pleat it and fold it over and glue it. Let's see how it's looking on him. Alright, so we've got that coming around. And it's going to come on down here to his backside. And so we'll be able to glue that down. I get it turned out. So that just gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So now we need to stuff it or fill it out and make it stand up like we're wanting. Okay, now, if I'd have thought about this before a while ago, I would have told you to glue these to the inside first. So we're not going to sweat it. We're just going to work with it as we've got it here. And this will give us, it'll work like a bone and make our hat a little bit stiffer. So it stands up. You can fill these in, but the way I'm making this, because I'm not using a sock, but I am going to add a pipe cleaner in there. I've got that stuff left over. And whenever you put your stuff in, you want that close to those pipe cleaners. You want it like next to the pipe cleaners, because that seam's going to be going down his back to the beginning. And then I'm going to go ahead and get his hat on him so I can work with this a little bit better. I am folding that first edge under, guys, and the reason why I'm doing that is I'm going to be putting a band on his head, but since I put those wires in there, they'll help stay a little bit better where I want it. So I definitely want to put the glue right here across the bridge of his nose, so to speak, so that it stays. I love my pink burlap, and I'm actually going to create him a headband. And I am taking his hat, guys, and I'm kind of like twisting it, and I haven't closed it up there. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be gluing a heart to the end of this, just like so. And then I'm going to put a heart here. So I'm going to probably take and put some ribbon around that. I do have this burlap string. I don't know if it's going to be big enough or enough. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to tie it about midway of his little hat. Draw that up. And then just make it into a bow. Just like that. And I have these hearts that I had gotten, the glittered hearts. And best I remember, I got these at the Dollar Tree in a little bundle, and I love this. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I want to take this stick. See, they just literally come right out of that styrofoam from out of that heart. Just so there ain't no incidences here, I'm going to plug that up with some hot glue. I hope you guys can see that. What do you think? Isn't that looking this cute? Let me turn the camera up a little bit here. Maybe and set him back there and you can kind of get a look at him. Hang tight, guys. Try not to make you dizzy from moving the camera around. Look at that. Isn't he looking adorable? He is. So I like that. His hat, he's looking really good. Okay, so we still have his booties to deal with. And we still need to trim his beard. So just try to shape it into like a V. Turn him around here, see how this is looking. More V shaped, and maybe just a little accent more of something. That's looking pretty good, guys. I don't know about you, but that is looking pretty good. And I may add something a little bit more, but so far I am really, really loving this. And he is just looking so darling. Okay, so we've got his booties here. So I'm thinking for the top of his shoes. And I thought about this fur, guys. Look at this. I thought like putting a fur there to cover up the little dogs. So he just looks like he's got fur boots. Like fur coming off of his boots. Isn't that cute? I might just do that. Just glue the fur on there. Like that. Then I can. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this fur on his boots. On the booties. Make him look like he's got a pair of fur boots. And those can be trimmed up as well. I don't want to cut too much away. That's why I'm doing it. Doing some point cutting there. As we do in cosmetology, do some point cutting there. We want to make it look right. Make it lay right. I don't know how successful I might be at trying to cut some teeny weeny little hearts. Not a perfect heart, but not that no one's even going to note this little heart, but it's not be cute to put it on the side of his boot. What do y'all think? Little cute heart. I know that's going to take some glue, just so I make sure that the whole bottom of him is totally covered. And have what we call rundown. I like this heart. I think I like it just being, I don't know, just, you know, so innocent and just adorably cute. I hope you guys like him because he is looking so handsome. He is just adorable. Oh my gosh. Guys, y'all know how I love pink. Look at him. Ain't he cute? He's so cute. He is just super, super cute. Look at his little hearts and his little band going on his hat and his little fur-covered booties. And look, and see, like I said, I just tucked that inside and gave it a little twist. You can see back here his little feet, his little boots, and then his little heart and all. But you guys, we are now at the end of this DIY. I thank you for coming along with me. If you have not subscribed to my Dandy Soap channel, please hit that subscribe button. See that little dandelion in the corner? If you touch it, it'll pop up. Or go down and hit the bell. And when it comes up, you can select all or personalize. Also, if you wanted to watch this at a later date, I don't know if you guys know, there's a plus sign there. If you touch that plus sign, it's going to pop up and you can actually create your own playlist. You could add this to projects I wish to do, projects to do, craft projects, whatever you want to label it. It's your personal playlist. And That way you can save this for a later date. You can even put this to your watch later file, and put it on your watch later playlist and go back and review it at another time. If you haven't hit like already, please hit that thumbs up. I certainly appreciate it. And just know this, guys, you can share this to your friends or family. Tag me on Instagram or any of your social media and come over to the Dandy Soap DIY Facebook page and join the gang over there. And please leave your comments down below if there's something you would like for me to try to do or make for you and create you a DIY video for it. Please leave your comment down below or hit me up on Instagram and direct message me there. You guys, thank you so much. Till the next DIY, this is Elizabeth saying, oh, happy Valentine gnome to you. How gnome are you? Bye, guys. Over and out.